Okay, let's talk about one of the last sections you're likely writing, the sustainability plan. As you can see, even though we're writing it near the end, it actually comes before the evaluation section. Okay, so why do you need a sustainability plan? So interestingly, funders are giving you money to get a program started, but they don't want to keep funding you for 10 years. This came as a surprise to me. So like when you go back to get additional funding, you have to say you're doing something a little bit different or expanding or adding or, something like that. So they're giving you a little bit money to get started, but they also want to make sure that you have a plan to keep it going, because otherwise it's a waste of their money to just do it for 1 year. I'm going to talk through each of these elements in more detail, but these are the requirements: that you describe if and how costs will change after year 1, that you give one specific and realistic idea for future funding, that you talk about a challenge to sustaining this program over the long term. It tells funders that you're kind of aware of what your challenges might be. And you also talk about a strength related to you being able to sustain the program. Okay, so answering this question around cost adjustment, will the cost change after a year? That's one way to indicate that your program is more sustainable, because you can say the majority of our staff will be trained, only the new people will have to be trained, or we will have already purchased the program materials for our evidence-based program, so we won't have to repurchase those. Or maybe you've ordered some supplies like printers or iPads, and you'll be able to continue using those and just replace some as needed. Here's 3 ideas for future funding. The first, and I've got more slides coming on this, is to say, if you're a nonprofit, that we'll apply for more grants. The second is to say, we're going to incorporate this program into our agency budget and support it with fundraising. And the third is to say, we're going to start charging participants for the program or sell something to support the program. So option 1, you could describe other grants, and you could mention, for example, funders that you found in your funder analysis of fit that you didn't choose to write your cover letter to. Option 2, you could say, if we're successful, our agency is going to incorporate it into our budget. And here's some ways that we are currently raising money that we could use to support this program. And you can find that out by searching your agency's website, social media, or any news articles about your agency. So what you're saying to funders is, we need your money to get us started, but then after that our costs are going to be lower and we should be able to roll this into an ongoing budget. That's not always the case. Sometimes it's still really expensive the second year and the third year, but for some people this might work. And the third one is to say, wow, this is going to be an expensive program to run, and so even though we gave it away for free during the first year that we had funding from you, we're going to have to charge a reduced fee in the future. Or we're going, as part of this, our participants are making something that we could sell to help fund the program. In terms of strengths and challenges to program sustainability, examples of strengths might be, we are well established in this community, we've got a lot of partnerships, we have a strong donor base, and strong fundraising. Challenges, maybe you would say it could be continually hard to recruit homeless youth, into our program. Or staff turnover could be a challenge. As we get new counselors on board, they'll have to go through the evidence-based programming. Or, right now our staff or our agency can support this program, but if we want to expand, we're going to have a different space or additional staff. Okay, here's an example for concise writing. And so just read through that and be reminded, even in this section, to kind of look back at what you write and see if you can take out the unnecessary words. Okay, in addition to your usual resources, the course workbook, proposal checklist, sample proposals, remember to look at the other funders that you identified in your funder analysis of fit that you didn't write your cover letter to. And also take a look at your agency website and social media to understand their current fundraising efforts.